Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with today's pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. The series shifts back to LA for Game 5. This series is now a best of 3 after the Oilers took care of business on their home ice. And the LA Kings, they're going to be looking to make a few adjustments and also taking care of business on their home ice. Now, home ice advantage is key in this series so far. If the Oilers want a chance to win this series, they have to find a way to steal one in LA, and it has to be tonight, because if this series goes 7, I find it very hard to believe that Edmonton could come out on top in LA, where they've already won 2 games. The Kings, that is, have won 2 games in Los Angeles, and the Oilers particularly didn't look great in Game 2. They did come back in Game 1, but that's probably a game that under normal circumstances, you can't really replicate that type of comeback. And speaking of comebacks, the Oilers have been kind of the comeback kings of the postseason. They came back to tie the game in Game 1. They came back to tie the game in Game 3. And they came back from a multi-goal deficit to tie the game in Game 4, eventually getting the winner in overtime. This is unsustainable from the Oilers. They need to get a lead and hold on to it. They cannot keep falling from behind. At some point, things even out. And the hockey gods, if you believe in them, they're not going to allow Edmonton to just keep coming back in these games. So lots of work to do for Edmonton. Best of 3 series. I'm obviously very excited. I'm still running off that high from Sunday night's game at Rogers Place, but we have to get our game face on now. It's serious. We're back to business, back to work here in Oil Country. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we'll be going over the projected lineups for the Oilers. I will be going over the stats for both teams and where they rank in the rest of the playoffs. I'll go over the keys to the game, players to watch, and the score prediction. Also, friendly reminder, I will be doing a live stream commentary for tonight's game. So if you're excited about that and you want to tune in, come hang out. We have an incredible community here to hang out with during live streams. But with that out all of the way, let's talk about the projected lineups for the Edmonton Oilers. I cannot imagine too many changes here. The only change that you could see is potentially Troy Stecher in for Ty Emberson. Now, during Game 4, the pregame warmups, Troy Stecher was on the ice. He did take pregame warmups, but he did not end up playing. They did play Emberson, but they only played him about 9 or 10 minutes the entire game. If there's going to be a change on that defensive core, it would be Stecher coming in for Emberson, though as of the recording of this video, nothing is confirmed at the moment. Top line, Nugent Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, though we've seen Leon Draisaitl loaded up there. We've seen Corey Perry up there, but that is generally what Chris Knobloch will run, and hopefully if the team has the lead, he just keeps rolling these lines. Second line, you'll have Podkolzin with Draisaitl and Victor Arvidsson. Now, I like Podkolzin's game. I like Draisaitl's game a lot. I have not liked Victor Arvidsson's game during the postseason. He just looks uncomfortable. He doesn't look like he knows where he's supposed to be. And I swear to God, I've never seen a player fall more than Victor Arvidsson. The only player I can think of off the top of my head that has ever worn an Oilers uniform that falls as often as Victor Arvidsson does was Taylor Hall when he was part of this team. I don't know what it is. Victor Arvidsson, I don't know if it's the edges on his skate blades. Does he need new skates? Does he need a skate coach? I don't know what this is. Obviously, I'm just poking fun. But Arvidsson, stay on your feet, my boy. Stay on your feet. Crash the net, get some shots, and see if he can snipe one past Darcy Kemper, who looks a little shaky right now. On third line, Evander Kane, Adam Henrique, and Connor Brown. I actually like this line. I like the makeup of it. I think Adam Henrique, he doesn't put himself in too many bad positions where he's caught out of position or caught too far up the ice. I think he understands that his role at this point in his career, he doesn't have a whole lot of speed, so he does kind of play that more conservative defensive style. He makes sure to defer the puck to Connor Brown and Evander Kane, who can both skate pretty well. I think Evander Kane, at least seeing him live, his speed is pretty underrated right now. He actually does get in on the forecheck. He has been winning races to pucks, and he's been physical, and that's a real good sign. Obviously, the more that this series goes on, the more comfortable players like Evander Kane will get, and I think that benefits the Edmonton Oilers because now there's familiarity. They've gotten into a few games. They've gotten over some of that rust, and they're just going to get more sharp and stronger and stronger. So hopefully for Evander Kane and Edmonton, that translates to some offense as well. On the fourth line, Trent Frederick with Matthias Janmark and Corey Perry. Like I mentioned, Perry, he's been getting power play time. When the team is down a goal, he will get loaded up with Draisaitl and McDavid, and for good reason. Corey Perry has 2 goals and 3 points in 4 games in the postseason. He has been absolutely clutch. He has been a terrific net front presence for Edmonton. He gets into shooting lanes. He makes life miserable for Drew Doughty when they're trying to defend the lead. The Kings, that is, defending the lead. Corey Perry has been a terrific story this season, and I really, really hope that the Oilers can keep finding ways to win and go as far as possible for Corey Perry. This is a player that we've talked about, the Perry curse. I don't know. I want to see that narrative kind of shut down this season. Trent Frederick, I think he looked his best in Game 4. That was the best, at least, that I've seen him. Again, maybe watching live is a little bit different than watching on TV. He had that great look in overtime where that puck bounced off the back wall, popped in front of Darcy Kemper all awkwardly, and Trent Frederick, I think if Frederick had just taken like a millisecond to just pick his spot, wait for because Kemper's sliding in, right? He's sliding from left to right. If he had just picked a corner, he might have been able to score. But Trent Frederick, he's been reading the play well. Yes, his skating is still off. He looks a little awkward, but he's been doing better, and that's a good sign for the Oilers and for this player in particular. Would I still prefer Jeff Skinner in this lineup over maybe Arvidsson or Frederick or, Janmark or whoever? Yes, but the Oilers have won 2 games in a row. Chris Knoblauch has made really good in-game adjustments. He is rolling his players pretty well, and he only shortens that bench when the team is down and trying to press for the tying goal. Other than that, I have liked the way Chris Knoblauch has adjusted in game. So we'll see how it, how it looks moving forward. On defense, now these were the start of the pairings in Game 4. Nurse with Bouchard, though, does not work. These two are on the ice for almost every single goal against, and yes, they're getting like a .780 save percentage from their goaltending, but when Bouchard makes a mistake, Darnell Nurse is not there to cover. And when Darnell Nurse makes a mistake, Evan Bouchard is not there to cover. These two players are too chaotic to stay on the same defense pair. Apologies, my throat. I'm still trying to get my voice clear here. Nurse and Bouchard, they eventually got split in that third period. I've got Kitty running all over the place. Hi, Kitty. He's just super excited for the game. These two players in particular, they were eventually split in that third period for Edmonton, and it allowed them to really press, control the puck. They have to be on their own pairs, whether it's Wallman, Bouchard, Nurse, Klingberg, or however you want to work these defense pairs, that is optimal. On the second pair, you'll have Wallman with Klingberg, but like I said, it could be Nurse Klingberg or Kulak Klingberg, whatever you want to do here, as long as Nurse and Bouchard are not together. I've liked John Klingberg's play. He's not 100%, and he has moments where it's a little awkward, a little dicey. Sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm all tense because I'm like, oh no, like that's not a great play. But John Klingberg, I actually think, has played pretty good considering the circumstances. This is the best that he's looked in an Oilers uniform. I find he reads the play well. He's been getting sticks into lanes, and he has actually been very effective at keeping pucks alive in the offensive zone. He's good at holding his line. He's good at knowing when to pinch and when to get back. For John Klingberg, that's really good. But most importantly, for an Oilers team that is, pretty shaky on the defensive side, especially still without Matthias Ekholm, having him being able to step in and play as well as he has, that takes the load off the other big guns for Edmonton on that blue line. It allows them to play Klingberg a little bit more and some of their other D-men a little bit less, keeps guys fresh, and of course allows the Oilers to continue to move the puck forward, especially when the Kings are sitting back on a lead. And then, of course, on the third pair, Kulak with Emberson or Kulak with Stetcher. Not sure what it's going to look like tonight. If Troy Stetcher gets into the lineup, I am more than okay with that. I don't dislike Ty Emberson, but it is his very first NHL playoffs, and you can tell that he's still a young player. He's still learning. He's still growing into his role as a defensive defenseman. And if Troy Stetcher wants to get in there, I like Stetcher's speed. I like his puck moving. He's tenacious on the puck. He cuts off angles very, very well. I have no problem with Stetcher. And of course, the starting goaltender tonight is going to be Calvin Pickard. You absolutely cannot go away from Picks. He's sitting at a .329 goals against and an .889 save percentage after putting up a 38 save performance the other night against LA in Edmonton. A .927 save percentage in that game. I always ask for a .900 save percentage or above. .927, the Oilers get the win. Let's see if the Oilers can find a way to once again not only help Pickard out, but he's helping the team out. Calvin Pickard has yet to give up a goal in the third period in the 2 games that he has played. So what the Oilers need to do is play a little bit better in front of him in the first 40 minutes, but Pickard also needs to make just a couple more saves in those 40 minutes and hopefully allow the Oilers to go into the third period with a lead. The Oilers have not had a lead in the third period at any point in this series. So they have to find, well, except obviously the last 5 minutes of game 3. But again, they have to enter the third period with a lead. That would be key for me. Now, when it comes to the playoff stats, the LA Kings, they are first on the power play, 46.7%. They rank 15th on the penalty kill because the Oilers' power play is now starting to turn things around. The Oilers have scored 4 power play goals in their last 2 games, and we'll see how the officiating is moving forward, because if the Oilers' power play starts to, obviously it's starting to get hot. Now the LA Kings also have a terrific power play. Do the officials look at these 2 teams and go, you know what? Their power plays, they're both clicking. We don't want that to influence the game. Maybe we don't call anything. Maybe it's like 1 power play apiece per game the rest of the way. I don't know how it's going to work. Obviously, if you're Edmonton, just don't give the refs an excuse to call a penalty. If you're LA Kings, don't give the refs an excuse to call a penalty. And goals per game for LA, they rank first, 4.75. Goals against per game, they rank 15th. This is a high-scoring series, and I imagine that will likely continue into tonight. Now, the LA Kings, though, this is where things become interesting. The expected goals for percentage at 5-on-5, according to Natural Stat Trick, the Los Angeles Kings are dead last in the playoffs, 42.83%. Now, some of this is score effects. The Kings have basically had a lead for the majority of the series. When teams have a lead, they go into a shell. But the Kings, they are legitimately not even forechecking when they have the lead, especially in third periods. Their expected goals for percentage is abysmal at 5-on-5. If you're into the analytics, if you believe that 5-on-5 is kind of the most important aspect of hockey because the majority of play is at 5-on-5, this doesn't look good for the Kings. That shows me that they've been riding the power play a little too much. Their penalty kill is starting to regress a little bit. So now, can the team hang in there at 5-on-5 enough? And is this going to show that Edmonton is ready to explode at 5-on-5? The expected goals for percentage for LA is almost 8% below 50%, but they have outscored Edmonton at even. So it's an interesting scenario. My mind wants to say that it will regress upward for Edmonton in terms of their goal scoring ability at 5-on-5, but the game is played on a sheet of ice. It is still a small sample. They've only played 4 games. We'll have to see how this shakes out. The LA Kings shooting percentage ranks 4th in the playoffs, and their save percentage ranks 11th. Now, for the Oilers, their power play, it ranks 2nd, only behind the LA Kings. Penalty kill ranks dead last, but they did get some big kills in Game 4, and they got a couple big kills in Game 3. Well, 1 big kill in Game 3. Did they even kill a penalty in Game 3? I don't even remember. Game 4, though, they did make 3 kills, which was fantastic. Goals per game ranks 2nd. Goals against per game ranks 16th. Expected goals for percentage ranks number 1 for Edmonton at 5-on-5. That, to me, gives me hope that the Oilers are going to find a way to start breaking through at 5-on-5. They've been scoring a lot of goals on 6-on-5 when they pull their goalie. And, of course, now they're getting some power play goals. They need to start getting goals at 5-on-5, though. Team shooting percentage ranks 6th, and team save percentage ranks 13th. Now, let's get to the keys to the game. These are incredibly important to me. For the Edmonton Oilers, number 1, score that first goal. In Game 3, they had a 2-0 lead. The Kings pressed. They eventually got a lead in the third period. But for the Oilers, score the first goal and then try and find a way to build off that and really force the issue here. The LA Kings, when they're behind, they do such a good job at applying pressure and generating scoring chances. It's when the Kings get the lead where they just sit back for some reason. But for Edmonton, you have to make LA uncomfortable in their play style, and scoring first, especially in LA, that will go a long way in Edmonton being able to find a way to win or not. Number 2, force the Los Angeles Kings to skate. The LA Kings and Jim Hiller, they have really shortened the bench in this series. They're essentially running 9 forwards and 4 defensemen for the entire game. They are not playing 2 of their defensemen, and they're not playing 3 of their forwards, despite dressing those players. Those are 5 players that you're just not playing at all. You're giving them 2 or 3 shifts a game. Force the Kings to skate. Force them to chase pucks into the corner. Hit the defense when they grab it. Force them to have to move east to west. Force them to go up and down the ice. because as the game wears on, by the third period, their legs are going to be tired. They're going to have a lot of that lactic acid buildup, and their shift length, if you can keep their shift length high as the game wears on, they're not going to be able to sustain that. And for the LA Kings, they have some older forwards that just can't keep up with the younger Oilers top end players. Yes, they have Philip Deneau, who's a great defensive center, Andrei Kopitar, who's a great two-way center. And then on defense, they have Drew Doughty, who's a terrific D-man, but their age is going to catch up to them if LA keeps playing them as much as they are, and if the Oilers can keep forcing them to skate as much as possible, chase the game. If the LA Kings are chasing, by the time that third period rolls around, the Oilers will be in good shape. Yes, the Oilers are also considered the oldest team in the NHL. They're the oldest team in the playoffs by average age, but a lot of Edmonton's older players are not the ones who have that on-ice impact to score goals. They still have McDavid. They still have Draisaitl. They have Zach Hyman. These are relatively young players in their primes who are going to have the better fitness, I should say, to sustain a 60-minute game. For Edmonton, force the Kings to skate. And number 3, special teams is incredibly important. The Oilers, we've seen their power play start to click. We've seen the penalty kill make a couple kills in a row. That's huge. They have to find a way to continue that if they want to win tonight. For the Los Angeles Kings, number 1, home ice comfort. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in the mind games, if you believe in, when one team has that, I don't know what the word is. Is it, I don't know. When one team wins one night and then they carry that momentum, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Momentum. Do you believe in momentum from game to game? If you don't, well, now you can believe in home ice comfort for the Kings. Whatever is going on, whether it's a mental thing or a momentum thing, the LA Kings, they're back at home. They can be comfortable here, right? They go into Edmonton. Maybe they felt a little shell-shocked in Edmonton, giving up 2 leads in the third period, giving up that overtime goal, but they are at home. A mental aspect for the Kings is how comfortable they are on home ice. Take advantage of that. They're going to come out flying, and the Oilers have to be able to withstand that first 10, 15-minute push. The Kings are going to be pressing hard tonight at the start of the game. Number 2, the LA Kings have to make better in-game adjustments, and this comes down to what Jim Hiller has been doing. When the Oilers start pressing, the Kings are not making proper adjustments, especially when it comes to their play style. Yes, the Kings are great at getting that lead, but I've talked about this a lot this series. They are sitting back too much. They are not properly, putting pressure on Edmonton. They're allowing the Oilers to skate through the neutral zone. They're allowing Edmonton to get those high flips into corners and then race those to those pucks. The LA Kings, if they have a lead or even if they're behind, Jim Hiller has to start making in-game adjustments to throw Edmonton off, because right now, Chris Knoblauch and the Oilers have the advantage when it comes to the in-game adjustment department. And number 3, this goes along with the in-game adjustments. The Kings, if they want to find some success, they have to roll 4 lines and 6D. Jim Hiller has to start trusting all of his players, not just 9 of his forwards and not just 4 of his defensemen. There is no reason in today's NHL why you cannot run 4 lines and 6 defensemen. This is such a strange thing that he's doing. He's essentially coaching like this is 1997, where 4th line players legitimately got like 3 minutes a night, and your bottom pair D-men legitimately played 5 minutes a night. You can't do that in today's NHL. It is too fast. It is too grindy, too physical. It's not possible to sustain this. The Kings roll 4 lines, roll 6D. And then, of course, for my players to watch, we're going to have Evan Bouchard for the Edmonton Oilers. He has come up clutch in these playoffs. He has 4 goals in the postseason and 7 points. He has been amazing at finding ways to get the Oilers back into games or straight up tying games. And for the LA Kings, I'm going to go with their biggest offensive producing defenseman as well, Drew Doughty. He looked tired in, defending that lead in Game 4. He was on the ice on the penalty kill before the Oilers won it. He was on the ice defending the Oilers' 6-on-5 attack with the net pulled, and he looked like a pylon out there because he's tired. Let's see if the Oilers can find a way to really push the pace on Drew Doughty. His age is starting to show. And then, of course, my score prediction. What the heck are we going with? Are we going with a Kings win because they're back at home? We're going with an Oilers win and they come back to Edmonton with a chance to wrap this series up in 6? Well, folks, I'm going with the homer route. Oilers fan. Of course, I'm going with the homer route. I'm going to say 5-3 Oilers with the smiley face. I think that smiley face is good luck. I'm going to say 5-3 Oilers. I think Calvin Pickard is getting into a groove. I think the Oilers have found a way to make their in-game adjustments against the Kings. And if Jim Hiller does not make any adjustments, if he keeps running his game the way he has, I don't know, Kings fans. I would not feel happy with him as head coach right now. And, of course, this series is still long, right? I'm not saying what could or could not happen. All I'm saying is if the Kings get bounced and Jim Hiller doesn't make any adjustments before that happens, do they keep Jim Hiller? And that goes the same for the Edmonton Oilers, too. If the Oilers get bounced, too, like no matter who gets bounced in the first round, whether it's Edmonton or LA, I think there's going to be big question marks behind that bench moving forward. Kings fans, let me know what you think. Oilers fans, let me know what you think in the comments section below. I'm excited to see all of you at the live stream tonight. It's going to be tons of fun. And hopefully Kitty and Mochi make little cameo appearances as well. I love all of you. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you tonight.